What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Straight Up Wrestling Show. It's your boy Christopher Burton, the People's Podcast with my man HBT, and we are going to review Starrcade Chi-Town Heat, and which was '87, and Starrcade '88, and some others. Also, going to talk about Bob Caudle. Him and his wife have celebrated 73 years of marriage, man.
73 years of marriage, man.
73.
Bob Caudle. If you don't know Bob Caudle, then
You don't know wrestling.
Yeah, you don't know wrestling.
You don't even call yourself a wrestling fan if you don't know who Bob Caudle.
You're just not old enough. Put it that way. If you don't know him, like say your parents know him or whatever. But if you're from this area, from the upstate of South Carolina, or you've been from North Carolina up to Virginia, Georgia, and then when NWA started going national, he was still with them. But he's one of the best broadcasters that's ever been in the business. I say he's got to be in the top three. And we have done a ranking on him, and he was high on each and every one of our lists.
He was.
But yeah, great broadcaster, man, and he pretty much carried that NWA program for a long time. Man, congratulations to him and his wife. And
73 years.
73 years, man. That's something. And I mean, whoa, that is something special. And it takes power from up high, man. It takes power from up high to for marriage to last that long.
Man, people don't even make 73 years of age, nevertheless to be.
There's no doubt about that. Yes, and the Lord has really blessed them. And as far as we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. Because there's a wrestler out there who's supposed to be on the CMA show? The show that just didn't happen.
CMW.
CMW show, but one of the wrestlers out there last night, he was going through a lot of things and he needs special prayer. So I'm not gonna say his name on here, but he needed special prayer, and he was on live, and he really had some trouble, some things going down. So I prayed for him and pretty much watched this live, and actually was gonna speak up on it. He didn't want any help from anybody talking, but best thing to do is pray for him, and
just a word of prayer, man.
Yeah, and if you're a Christian, just ask the Lord to help out this brother, man. It's in
this situation.
Yeah, he wrestles for CMW. I don't know why in the world I can't get that out, but maybe because I'm thinking about him. But yeah, he wrestles for CMW, and he's going through some things right now, and I ask all the soldiers of Christ, man, and like say, if you're a Christian, if not, like say, keep him in your thoughts and everything. But keep him in your definitely keep him in your prayers. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go through this Chi-Town Heat Starrcade '87, and Chris gonna go over that Starrcade '88 because like I said, I remember Starrcade '88, so we definitely can talk about those matches. I didn't recently watch that, but we are gonna cover. We're gonna go ahead and cover. We're gonna cover Raw at the end of the show. But right now, man, we're gonna start off with this Starrcade Heat in Chicago. This is something different. This is after I say around '86 is when Jim Crockett Jr. started expanding his promotion. Yep. And this right here, this card was amazing. Man, you're not going to find a card like this anywhere.
It was good, except for one part that I couldn't stand.
What's that?
Okay. I'm just put it out there. One of the matches, you had a 6-man tag match. You had Fabulous Freebirds and Sting versus, who was it? Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Rick Steiner,
and...
Oh, wait a minute. You said the Fabulous Freebirds and who?
Sting.
No, it's Fabulous Freebirds and Jimmy Garvin.
No, it was Sting.
Sting wasn't teamed up with the Fabulous Freebirds. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was, man.
Oh, man, that just sounds weird, Chris. I could be wrong, man.
Yeah. It was Sting.
Okay, it was Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, Larry Zbyszko, and Rick Steiner. Okay, with Baby Doll versus Sting and the Fabulous Freebirds. Yeah. What kind of garbage is that? But actually, Sting was a heel at one time. He was a heel. Remember when he was teaming with what's that other dude, the Ultimate Warrior, who used to be the Dingo Warrior. I don't think
Blade Runners.
They was Blade Runners. Actually, it was Blade and it was Sting and Blade. What's his name was Blade? What's his name?
Roy.
Yeah. the Warrior, he was Blade, and then after that, he left and went to WCCW out in Texas and became Dingo Warrior. Yeah, but he was Blade, and Sting was Sting, and he was called the Blade Runners. But so he was, when he first came in, man, he was a heel.
And
but
it was so crazy because in this match, they were the face.
Yeah, that's true. They was faces, and yeah, that was kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
But wasn't okay. It was Eddie Gilbert, Larry Zbyszko, and Rick Steiner.
Yeah, against Freebird.
With Baby Dog versus Sting. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy seeing them two tagged up. But the match was good overall. But like I said, it ended up in a what was it? Time limit draw.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, it was time limit draw.
Yeah, time limit
draw. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. Okay, so but this version of the Freebirds, it was Jimmy Garvin, Michael Hayes, and Sting. And like Chris said, it was Eddie Gilbert, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, Larry Zbyszko, and Rick Steiner. And when I was basically saying about this card, what was so amazing about this card, if you go down the line on this card, man, I'm talking about the talent that was on this thing. I mean, Jim Crockett, man, in this region of the country, I mean, you just didn't find talent like that anywhere. Not even in the big, up in WWE, which was so much bigger. You just did not find the kind of talent that Jim Crockett had, man.
Exactly.
So, who is this user here?
That's Jeanette. Jeanette is
okay.
my wife.
Hello, Jeanette. How you doing?
But yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, the match was a good match. It ended up in a time limit draw. So there was no declared winner.
Right.
But then they got to a part of the show which was actually a time filler, and I hated it. I hated it because it brought the energy down.
Right.
They had an interview. Bob Collar,
who
we talked about earlier,
right,
had an interview with Ron, the Freebirds.
Right.
With Michael P.S. Hayes and
Jimmy Garvin.
Jimmy Garvin.
Yes.
Jimmy did all the talking. He talked in this promo.
He talked for too long. Way too long.
15 to 20 minutes.
Way too long, man.
I mean, seriously, 15 to 20 minutes on an interview, which at some point, okay, it's a time filler because I believe the next match was a scaffold match.
Yeah, I'm not. Let's see. Just
I believe it was a scaffold match. Was the next match?
No, it was the UWF heavyweight title match, man. It was Steve Williams versus Barry Windham. So,
okay, so I don't know why they needed so much time for that, man.
Yeah.
Why you needed so much?
I have no idea. But let's get on with the like I say, get on with the matches. Like if you have the network, you have WWE Network,
Peacock.
Peacock. Go back, check it out.
Yeah.
Chi-Town Heat, Starrcade, 87, man. Yeah. Great show. So definitely we recommend it. But this match, man, just one thing about this match, who was that? I think the person I thought was most impressive in this match was Michael P.S. Hayes. I mean, Michael P.S. Hayes, man, really, yeah, man. Michael P.S. Hayes looked good in this match, Chris. What? I think. Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe because he wasn't in it as much as everybody else, but anytime Michael P.S. Hayes came in there, somebody was beat down to where he could get in there and I mean, as far as on his team. Now, as far as on his team, he was the most impressive. But Rick Steiner probably overall, as far as overall in the match, Rick Steiner was the most impressive. And this was a young Rick Steiner. This is when he first got into Jim Crockett Promotions. The man was cut up. You have got to see it. This guy was.
The only thing I don't like about Rick Steiner, man, they had him doing all this stupid stuff. Man.
Yeah.
Rick Steiner could have really been somebody, man, but they.
What are you talking about? He was, man. He's part of. He's in one of the top 5 tag teams of all time.
I'm talking about if he could have been single, he could have really been somebody.
Oh, he could have.
That stupid stuff.
He could have.
Oh
yeah. Well, Kevin Sullivan came in, man. Kevin Sullivan took over the booking, and Kevin Sullivan wanted to act like he was stupid, and he wanted to put Syracuse University over Michigan. So he brought that Mike Rotundo. He wanted to say Mike Rotundo was smarter than Rick Steiner, and Rick Steiner played with it and did that dog-faced gremlin thing. But you got to admit, the dog-faced gremlin thing got over huge. It got over huge.
But before all that, man,
yeah, man. Rick Steiner had.
He could have been a U.S. champion. He could have been a TV champion.
He had the talent. Rick Steiner had the talent. In all actuality, he should have been the one who. And I thought about this back when I was younger. He should have been the one who challenged Rick Flair and took that title from Rick Flair and had it instead of Jimmy Garvin. I'm not Jimmy Garvin, Ron Garvin. Because Ron Garvin, they gave it to him because nobody else wanted to take the title. Nobody else wanted that title. but they was only gonna get it for a couple months.
You gotta think, man.
But they should
at
give
that time.
yeah.
The pressure to be the champion was so crazy.
Yes,
man.
it was.
Nobody want to.
Yes, it was. But yeah, but Rick Steiner, man, amazing talent. I mean, he should have been. I love Scott when Scott came in and they teamed him up with Scott. But I wanted Rick to have that run by himself because he was such an amazing talent by himself, man. And just when he got there with his brother, it seemed like he kind of like lowered himself down a little bit to put his brother over. Yeah. And his brother was such an amazing worker, man. Especially before he became Big Papa Pump, man. He was such an amazing worker. My man Doug is on here. What's going on, Doug?
He finally figured out how to work StreamYard.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we appreciate it, man. And I'm glad to see your name and all that, Doug, that you on here checking us out. But as far as going back to that match, Michael P.S. Hayes, man, I think for his team was the most impressive one on his team. And I think Rick Steiner, man, with all the power moves and everything he does, really took them over in that match. And you can see that same kind of power in his son, man. Brian Breaker over there in NXT, man. Amazing power, man. Those guys have great genes. Great genes. Oh, yeah. What did Doug just say right there?
He said Steiner's his favorite tag team. He agreed Rick had all the necessities for a single star.
Yes.
Maybe not the same as Scott.
No, Doug, as far as Scott goes, I would say before Scott became Big Papa Pump. Yeah. I'm sorry, Big Papa Pump. He might have been a bigger name and might have had a better promo and a better look and everything like that. But he definitely was not the type of wrestler he was when he was with Rick before he gained all the muscle and all that. He lost a lot. He lost a lot. He became a totally different wrestler. He wasn't that world class champion wrestler. And as far as Rick Steiner go, man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much you remember. I know you remember a lot of things, man. But as far as Rick Steiner, right before his brother came, I think Rick just had just as much talent, not as many moves as Scott brought in there. But Rick could do just about everything Scott could do, besides maybe like the Frankensteiner that he brought in, and a couple other things, man. But as far as any kind of suplex, the clotheslines and all that, he was even more devastating than his brother. And he definitely could kick his brother's butt in real life. Rick Steiner, Flair and all of them, it said Rick Steiner was one of the top 5 guys as far as legitimately tough guys in the business. Nobody would mess with him. Him, Ron Simmons, Haku, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and I forgot it was one other guy. But like I say, he was one of these guys that nobody messed with. Rick Rude. But he was one of these guys nobody dared to mess with. And him and his brother, man, they used to run pranks on people in the dressing room and things like that, man. They used to tie people up and beat them up. But nobody would mess with Rick Steiner, man. And his brother might have got bigger than him and all that and looked better and, looked like, but his brother would not mess with him. Rick Steiner was something else. I mean, he whooped little brother's butt.
Man. So what was the next match, man?
Yeah, but no, man, we ain't finished with this match. We didn't give no rating or anything, man. What are you talking about? You just locked in. Chris right now locked in on the foolishness, man, what happened with Rick Steiner later on. But as far as this match, man, I gave it 3 stars. What about you?
I gave it a solid.
And like I said, it could have been better. I mean, you look at, like we were saying at the beginning, you look at the star power that was in this match, man. Michael P.S. Hayes, Jimmy Garvin, and Sting against Rick Steiner, Eddie Gilbert, and Larry Zbyszko. Man, and you can have 2 guys in there. You got one guy in there as one of the top 15 wrestlers in the world.
Crazy, you didn't see a lot of Eddie Gilbert in this match.
No, you didn't see Eddie Gilbert a lot in this match, man. But Larry Zbyszko, definitely a legend, still one of the top 25 wrestlers ever. So you had a lot of star power in here in this thing, man. But this right here was a pretty good match. It was a pretty good match, and basically laying it down. It was basically because of the star power in the match. But Rick Steiner, man, was awesome to watch in this thing, and all these guys, I think we had Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross did the commentary, which is a great team. They always was a great team together. And they was talking about, these guys haven't been together long enough to get their chemistry down. And they didn't, because like I said, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert had just came over and, hadn't been in there long. But Hot Stuff, man, and both teams, neither team really had their stuff together, but each one of those guys was in there was so seasoned that it looked good. But the least seasoned in there was Sting. Sting looked very awkward in that match. If you go back,
Shit.
you will see a green Sting, man. This is before Sting took on Flair, I think, the next year?
Something like that,
in the Clash of Champions, with Sting. And I mean, Steiner and Flair and a lot of these guys had worked with Sting and made Sting become the type of wrestler that he actually was going to become. But go and check that out, man. Sting was very awkward with the clotheslines and everything, man. He was doing it with the wrong arm. It was kind of weird to see that. But Sting, he did look good, man. And like Flair says, Sting has the look and all that. So, that definitely got him over.
Yeah.
What's Doug?
Oh, Doug was saying the back and forth between the Steiners and Harlem Heat was also great back in the 90s.
Oh gosh, man, that was one of the best feuds I ever seen, Doug. And if you and I saw it live, and man, I'm sorry I did not call you, man, because you should have been with us last night at 3 Count Pro Wrestling. Man, you would have thought you was at Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Doug. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great, man. So we will talk about that just a little bit at the end of this. We will talk about that a little bit, but man, that was outstanding. I swear, man, I just thought I was at a Mid-Atlantic Championship Jim Crockett Promotions show, man. That thing was just, man, that was a top shelf show.
Yeah, it was.
I can't say anything else about that. But yeah, it ended up a draw. I gave it 3 stars. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I gave it 3.
Okay, man. Next, man, we had not the United States. It was the UWF Heavyweight World Champion, Steve Dr. Delph Williams. Now, this right here is Jim Crockett had took over the UWF, which was Bill Watts' territory. And the UWF came on the national scene. It was looking good. Looked like it was going to be the 3rd big promotion out there. And it was for a little while. I mean, I think for like half a year it was. But the Texas oil industry had went down. They had started losing their fan support as far as in the arenas and everything like that. So, they got into a little financial situation, and they had to shut down, man. They had a lot of big stars, and Jim Crockett went up there, and Jim Crockett
made a
proposal, and he took it over, and he engrafted that into the NWA, and that right there, with the money he spent with them, that right there pretty much put them in financial difficulties themselves, and ended up, bringing his promotion down. So, but yeah, Dr. Delph Steve Williams took on the the Western States heavyweight champion, Barry Windham. So, man, this right here, another great matchup, man. I mean, great matchup. I mean, what I'm saying, 2 great opponents. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but this match was honestly very awkward.
Yes, it was.
It was it was a good matchup when you looked at it on paper. But when the actuality of them, when they actually got in the ring, it was very awkward.
Yes,
It did not mesh at all.
Yeah, and the reason I think, Chris, is these 2 guys went at it. Both of them, like I say, both of them are great scientific wrestlers, man, technical wrestlers. There's no ands, ands, or buts about that. And they both wanted to keep this thing on a technical type wrestling because they was both faces.
Yeah.
And
see, the thing about it too, though, on top of that, that's not Steve Williams' style, man.
No, it's not. Steve Williams.
He can technical wrestle.
Yes, he can.
But he was known for beat you up in your face.
Brawling.
Power.
Yeah.
Power.
He was a brawler.
And see, that's where the clash was.
Yeah,
man.
and that's the reason he's so huge in Japan. Him and Terry Gordy are known as beasts in Japan.
Wow.
I mean, their status is like the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors are huge in Japan. They have this mystique about them. And Dr. Delph Steve Williams, he was just a charger, man. Big old football player, old Oklahoma Sooner, charge you and get you. But in this match, man, they was working on arm bars, shoulder, takedowns and all kind of stuff like that, man. And leg and the people up in Chicago. Now, if they was in Greensboro, they was in Greenville, South Carolina, Spartanburg, Charlotte, Raleigh, or somewhere, man, people would have went crazy because we love that type of wrestling down here. But up there, it was awkward, and the crowd, man, was booing. It was booing in that match. You hardly ever heard it in Jim Crockett Promotions. You ever hardly ever heard anybody booing in their matches. But people was booing, man, and these guys wouldn't take it and become physical with each other. And the match just didn't play out right.
At some point.
Yeah, they should have.
I mean, at some point,
yeah,
you need to have in a match like that you need to have a filling out process when
Yeah.
you're doing your technical stuff, trying to see what your opponent can do versus what they can do, what you can do, etc., etc., etc.
Mhm.
You filling out process. After all that, then the things need to break down and fists need to start flying.
That's
you need
right.
to start punching and kicking and getting down to it. You don't need to be just still for 15, 20 minutes straight, still trying to feel out your opponent, because then you got the fans sitting on their hands. They're gonna be like, okay,
Yeah.
now this getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
We want to see some punches, some kicking or something.
No doubt.
And you still up there trying to see.
Yeah, and then you I mean, and this was back in the day when they called it in the ring.
Yeah.
The wrestlers called it in the ring. So if they if they was going too long and the fans got restless or whatever, they would tap each other, or the referee would be like, speed it up or whatever. Them in the back, they want you to speed this up, or they tap each other and let's bring a little bit more action. So that's what shocked me, because they used to call it in the ring. Barry Windham and Dr. Death Steve Williams both have enough experience to where they say, oh no, we need to take this to action. And neither one of them would have had any problem doing that, man, because both of them great brawlers too, man. Both of them can do that in the ring, and they definitely should have did that, man, and brought an exciting match. And the match wasn't exciting. I only gave it a 1.5 stars, Chris.
Yeah, I gave it a 1.
Yeah, and I hate to say that.
And then on top of that, what happened? It was a big botch in the match.
Mm-hmm.
A big obvious botch.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Death whips Barry in the ropes. Barry's supposed to go under. Dr. Death's supposed to do a leapfrog. Well, Dr. Death went up. Barry wasn't low enough. Head butted him right where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
And it was legit.
Yes, it was, man.
It wasn't no.
Yeah.
Barry came in head first and boop, right there. And Dr. Death wasn't right after that.
Yes, it was. But he went ahead and got the win. And I think he rolled Barry up, man.
Yeah, he ended up getting him a small package because he could tell that, Dr. Death was hurt. He was hurting.
Yeah.
And legitimately so.
Yeah.
Barry went for a move and Dr. Death ducked him, and Barry went over the top rope, hit the floor, bloop. Next thing you know, Dr. Death's in the ring trying to get himself right, which he really couldn't. And Barry got back in the ring, crawled back in the ring, and when he crawled back in, Steve rolled him up for the small package, 1, 2, 3, and that was it.
Like I said, I gave it a 1.5. Chris gave it 1 star, but I'm gonna drop it back on down to 1 star from Straight Up Wrestling crew. And man, I tell you what, that was very disappointing, being such big names. And like I say, Steve Williams, Dr. Death Williams, he was the UWF heavyweight champion, man.
And he kept the belt.
Yeah, he kept the belt.
It was an ugly match.
And he was a world champion. And Barry Windham, actually was he was a star, and that was a major championship, the Western States heavyweight championship. Scott? What's going on, Scott Larson? My man.
Yeah, Scott says he remember when Jerry Lawler, the serious Jerry Lawler, back in the day when he was a kid,
right?
And not the goof in WWF.
Right. But I mean, if you don't share this, if you're on Facebook, hit that like,
share, join,
share, and join. If you're on YouTube, that like, share, and subscribe. And man,
hit the notification bell.
Yes, definitely.
Times like this when we're going live and we're talking about something completely different, wrestling, but something out of the ordinary, because we're going back in the day, back to 87 and 88. Yeah,
and we're in the University Center up in Greenville, South Carolina. We're in the Greenville Tech University Center. That's where we're bringing this show to you from. Man, let's go on to the next match. Chris, this was a scalpel match, man. We had the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, against the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Martin and Robert Gibson.
Who was just here last night?
Yes, they was here last night, and they took on FTR in Spartanburg. And big time wrestling. They on their farewell tour, and they took on FTR.
Now,
man,
I believe that as much as I got $1 million.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know, Rick. I don't know.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, their great grandkids gonna be wrestling. They still gonna be up there. They might not be wrestling, but they're gonna be out there managing them.
These guys in their mid-60s, man. I hope this is it, man. I hope this is it. And congratulations to our guys, man. Soul Patrol for being winning the PWF Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to those two guys, man. The Cat, man, and doggone
Sweet Dreams, man.
Sweet Dreams. I don't know why in the world I couldn't think of his name, man. I was about to say Sweet Potatoes. Sweet, that sweet. Hey, Sweet, don't get mad at me, man. But yeah, congratulations to those two, man.
Even though we didn't see it, I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Even though we didn't see the match, y'all got the belts. That was 5 stars.
That's it. 5 stars. 5 stars, man. You guys look good. My man Douglas, my man Doug said y'all have a great look, man. Look old school. They definitely old school, Doug. You're going to have to see these guys, man. One day you're going to have to roll out there with me and Chris and check these guys out.
Person,
yeah. So, man, yeah, let's move on to that. Yeah, we was at the scalpel match, man. And, hey, Big Bubba Rogers.
You know, it was so funny because I saw the scalpel set up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, who's in the scalpel match? Because I'm trying to think back. I'm like, okay. Let me see. This ain't the Road Warriors weren't wrestling in the scaffold. I was like, who in the scaffold? Yeah. And then when I saw the Rock and Roll Express and Midnight Express, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be the Road Warriors too, because they always in the scaffold, man.
And I was like, but I was like, Road Warriors ain't in the scaffold. Yeah. Like, who is it?
Right.
You know, and so it ended up being Rock and Roll and Midnight Express, and these two, as we don't need to tell you the history between.
Oh gosh,
man. We don't need to explain all that.
And this was for the United States Tag Team Championship,
which I think they need to bring back.
Yeah, a great championship, major championship, and I think the Midnight Express was the champs at this time.
Yeah, they were.
You know, they used to flip those titles back and forth. But man,
and what's so funny, man, I honestly really believe they should bring back the U.S. titles.
Oh yeah,
tag titles, because you got so many teams,
right,
in all these promotions, and everybody ain't gonna get a world tag team title shot.
That's true.
Everybody ain't gonna get a tag team title shot. So you gotta be like, okay, if you can't be world tag team champions, we can at least give you something.
That's right.
You know,
and man,
I know it sounds like a participation trophy, but it's something.
Well, it definitely wasn't a participation trophy back then. I mean, the teams that they had over there, man, was just the teams that they had in Crockett, man, at that time was just amazing. I mean, they had so many teams. But this match, man, I thought this actually was a good match, Chris. Let me go ahead and give you the score. My score was a 4.5, and both teams, man, up on that scaffold, man, they put in some work up there. It wasn't no double drop kicks from the Rock and Roll Express. I mean,
that would have been
a bunch of punches and kicks. Man, Robert Gibson, man, he was a Big Bubba Rogers actually slowed Robert down. I mean, Ricky. Ricky was trying to get on. He was trying to get on top, and Big Bubba Rogers got involved and knocked him back down. So Robert was up there having to survive against Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane. I'm surprised Stan Lane, man, with one of them patented kicks. They kick him on off the scalpel, man.
I know, right? That would have been crazy, man. That would have been crazy,
but
man.
Yeah, he survived up there, man, and till Ricky got up there, man, and they those two teams went at it.
And then Ricky came in there, because Rock and Roll Express ended up winning.
Yeah.
Because Sweet Stan went off first, and then Bobby had to fight for his life against two guys.
Yes.
And Bobby ended up dropping from the bottom of the scaffold. And then Big Bubba was like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because Robert was on his way down.
Right.
And Ricky was on his way down when he saw Bubba coming up.
Yeah, right.
So Ricky was like, oh, shit. Okay. He's like, I'm stuck now. And he's like, Robert down. I'm stuck up here. And this big joker coming up. And Bubba was ready for business. So took off his tie and his jacket, man. He was ready to throw down. And then Ricky just gave him a nut shot. I mean, there ain't no way to call it.
Yeah.
He just
went up under him, then he got on out of there.
And it was so funny because Bubba was coming at him, and Ricky was like, who's that over there? And Bubba was like, huh? Who?
Yeah.
And then that shot crawled up on his legs and came down.
So we had new U.S. Tag Team Champions, man. Rock and Roll Express. And we knew.
Well, I don't think it was it for the titles?
Actually, that wasn't for the title. That wasn't the title. That wasn't for the titles. I'll take that back.
That was just a
straight wrestling match right there. But yeah, it was a good match. But every time Bubba Rogers back then, man, because this was like a year after, I think, within the first year that when Cornette brought him up there. And anytime Rogers, well, actually, because this was after a year after high school, 87, he brought him in 86. my senior year, because
Yeah.
we used to go back and we used to talk, and everybody was talking about Bubba Rogers. He used to be sitting back there with that hat on.
Yeah.
And anytime
And
you go,
shades,
yeah, you
man.
go to the auditorium or anywhere, some guys, man. I used to just go to the Greenville auditorium. You had guys follow them everywhere, man, who was at our school. They would follow them to Spartanburg Auditorium. They would follow them out there to Columbia. They were just huge wrestling fans. And they were like, man, well, Big Bubba got involved. So you know what went down.
Yeah,
But Big Bubba would get involved all the time in the match.
He took out that glass and that hat and that jacket and poured down them suspenders.
Yeah.
It was about to be some trouble.
And he was the first guy that I actually ever saw that got hit with a steel chair on top of the head and the chair bent. I mean, Dusty Rhodes hit him upside the head with that chair. It was the first time I ever seen that. Bam! And Bubba Rogers just stood there, still had that hat on, just looking at him. And Dusty Rhodes just went out of their bed. Everybody went back to school the next day and said, man, can you believe that, man? He got hit in the head with a chair and it bent up. I mean, it was a legit chair, man, that he went out there and pulled from a fan. He got in there, came in, and Dusty Rhodes, pop! That joker just stood there and just looked at him. And Dusty just backed off. He just got all scared and backed off. But Bubba Rogers was something else, man. And we know what he became, the big boss man.
Yeah.
But like I say, he done his damaging Crockett as Bubba Rogers before he went up there and did that as big boss man. But that was a pretty good match, man. I gave it 4.5, 4.5 stars. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I gave it 4.5, definitely, man.
Okay. All right.
Scalper matches back then, man, was something serious, man.
Oh, yeah.
That you looking at a short career if something goes wrong.
Oh, there's no ends, ands, or buts about that. Yeah.
Short career if something goes wrong, man. So,
Yeah. Next match, man, we had hometown boy, born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, Terry Taylor, versus Terry Taylor, accompanied by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, versus Nikita Koloff.
Oh, yeah, this match, man. This match was, it had so many ebbs and flows, man. It was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it was just like they were filling each other out. Nikita get an advantage. Terry get an advantage.
Yeah.
Nikita get an advantage.
Yeah.
Terry get an advantage. Nikita get an advantage.
Right.
I'm like, golly. I'm like, well, somebody just, I mean, it was just back and forth, back and forth.
And one thing about this match, man, that I'm going to point out is Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor, I remember when he first started wrestling, man, back in like 1980. He was the Pro Wrestling Illustrated National Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Great wrestler, man. And people was back there comparing him to Ric Flair. And then you had people out there saying that's Ric Flair's brother and all that. I wasn't sure. But I remember, he had a style similar to Ric Flair. But I didn't really realize till I went back and I looked at it, man. And he wrestled so similar to Ric Flair. I was just like, wow, man. Everything that he did, man, was so Flair-like. I was like, this is very interesting. And then you had Nikita Koloff, man, which I had forgot. He had lost a lot of his muscularity. I remember he had took some time off, and he stopped working out like he used to.
Really?
They said, what's his name, Arn and all them said, he had stopped working out because he used to live, eat, and sleep, man, just working out 4 or 5 times a day and all that, man. But he had lost some of that because you remember he had started teaming with Dusty Rhodes and all that. Dusty Rhodes was not no gym rat.
Oh, yeah.
But Ivan Koloff kept him and Crusher Khrushchev in that doggone gym.
Yeah.
So, man, them guys were massive. Him, Crusher Khrushchev, and then later on, sawed off Ustinov, man, who was huge too. But he kept them Russians in that doggone gym, man. Them guys are huge. But yeah, he lost all that, man. So he looked kind of normal. He still was big, but he started looking a little normal. But it was a pretty good match, man. Nikita still looked ferocious and all that. But
matter of fact, this was for the UWF.
It was for the Nikita was the world television champion of the NWA, which is very prestigious, and Terry Taylor was the UWF world television champion.
So
it was title, it was title versus title, and Nikita Koloff won that. Won it.
With the Russian sickle.
Yeah, hit him with the Russian sickle, laid Terry Taylor out. And I remember when this came out, man. When I watched it on, actually it was closed circuit. Back then, this was before pay-per-view and all that. Right before pay-per-view, it was 100 closed. It was on 100 closed circuit locations. And coming out of Chicago, which it should have been in Greensboro. The Southern fans was really upset for the NWA going up north doing that, but it was in Chicago Pavilion. Which,
but we get it. Bigger
crowd, we get it. Yeah, it wasn't a bigger crowd though. 8,000 fans in Greensboro, man. They always get like 15 to 16,000 fans, but they had to expand. They had to expand because of what the WWE was doing. So, but a big crowd for the NWA going up north because they were just now venturing up north. Yeah. But man, and they was very excited to see that. And you know, Chicago did become a big territory for Jim Crockett.
Oh, yeah.
But man, that, like I say, that was a good match. Terry Taylor, very good technical wrestler, man. Nikita Koloff, you know, he definitely learned fast and had a lot of power. You know, two great competitors, man. And Chris, I think I gave that was 3.5. I think I gave 3.5 stars. I think I started off 3 stars, but go ahead and give it 3.5 stars. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And Bob Caudle had an interview. Okay, let's talk. Okay, we already talked about the one he had with Jimmy Garvin, which was too long. Bob Caudle had an interview with Nikita Koloff. Nikita, I'll tell you what, and Terry Taylor, he's a great champion. I'm telling you, he's a great champion. And I took the title, and I'm gonna be I got a double title. I'm double title Nikita. You know, stuff like that.
That's basically
so, you know, and I was just like, whoa, man, whoa, okay, Nikita, slow down. I used to love his interviews when he was with Ivan, and I was like, Uncle Ivan. You know, that was great, man. But like I say, by himself, man, I'm like, you're going a little too long, man. You're going a little too long. But Bob Caudle, man, it's hard to have a great interview with a bad interview with him. So I gave that interview a thumbs up. Bob Caudle saved the day, man. You know, came in and saved the day talking to him. And so it came off well, man. And I gave it a thumbs up. So what is my man Doug saying there, Chris?
He said, my goodness, NWA was tip top. Rock and roll and Midnight Express, woo-wee.
Yeah, man.
I agree. I agree, man.
No doubt.
Some of the best in the business.
Yeah, then we had the NWA World Tag Team title match. And like I say, we already had a main event match, man, anywhere in the world. Rock and Roll and Midnight Express, as far as a tag team. They could have had that in the ring. Didn't have to have a special match. No. But those two guys, man, was great. Then you had the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, who's the NWA World Tag Team champion with J.J. Dillon versus the Road Warriors with Paul Ellering. With Precious Paul Eller.
And then they in Chicago too, man. So
hometown of the Warriors. Yeah. So this right here was big time. Yeah. Big time, man. Big time match. And the Road Warriors took over, man. Power. They established their power early on in the match, and I mean they was taking it too. They took it to Arn and Tully, man. Clotheslines, man. Shoulder blocks.
Bench pressing.
Tossing them to into the ring. Apron, and you know how Hulk was when he would charge you into that ring apron, man. Yeah, get you in the midsection with that running.
Ron just said something, man.
What did Ron say?
Ron just said someone needs to book Rock and Roll versus the Soul Patrol.
Oh wow, that'd be great.
I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. But yeah, this match, man, the Rock and Roll, I'm not Rock and Roll Express, but the Horsemen and Road Warriors, man. Road Warriors, like I say, looked like they was going to take them out quick. And you know, they used to like to take people out quick back then. But I said, nah, they couldn't do that against
No.
Yeah. Tully and Arn, man, those guys are just too crafty.
Yeah, and they worked them over.
Yeah, and when he got a hold of them legs, man, that was it. Those guys, man, they put on a scientific match. They was teaching them a wrestling lesson.
And what's so funny, man, the Road Warriors, unless you were that good, they would not take bumps for nobody.
Oh, heck no, they would.
They understood.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Arn and Tully.
Yep.
We've been up and down the road with these guys so many times. It's only fair and respectful that we do this.
Yeah.
You know, because if they didn't take no bumps from Arn and Tully, but it would have looked bad.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
It would have been bad. But yeah, you know, Arn and Tully had to get their stuff in. And they worked the legs, a Hogan animal.
Yeah.
And everything was going good, man. And messed around, and that doggone stupid rule of this stupid rule, man, over that top rope crap, man.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Tully that went over the top.
Yeah, rope. I forgot about that because I was about to say the Road Warriors was the new NWA heavyweight champions.
Yeah.
But you know, they actually won the match, but Tommy Young, because both referees got knocked out. Tommy Young got knocked out, and Earl Hebner came in there, man. Earl Hebner, gave the Warriors, because they did a patented move, hit them off the
Doomsday device.
Hit them with the Doomsday device, man, and had to win. But Tommy Young, he was outside. He saw when which one went over?
I think it was Tully.
It was Tully went over. He saw Tully go over, and he came back in and said, no, he went over. And the Road Warriors didn't give him the belts back, so they left the arena. And I remember when they had the belts, man, they had to get it back from him on Mid-Atlantic Championship Television, or was it on TBS Superstation? One of the two, but they had the belts for it. They kept them for like a couple weeks before they gave them back to the Four Horsemen, man. It was pretty cool back then. So,
yeah,
you know.
because they were like, we don't care. We walking out with the belts, and that's what they did. Yeah. They walked out holding up the belts.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Yeah,
and the fans was all on them, man. Fans loving that. But I gave that match 4 stars, man. It was a great match.
Yeah,
great match.
4 stars definitely over here, man.
Yeah, what was my man Ron Emerson saying right there?
Douglas said,
okay.
Ricky still has that mullet.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does, man. Sure does.
Still got it, man.
Yeah, we shook those guys. We done been in 2 arenas with them in the last few months, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we done ran into those guys and talked to them alive. So yeah, he's still looking the same, Doug. Still the same one.
Mm-hmm.
Still the same man. Haven't changed anything, man. So
still talking crap and crazy as ever.
Yeah.
Golly, that joker. I'm like, boy, you ever gonna grow up?
And man, I tell you what, the next match, man, we had for the United States, NWA United States heavyweight title versus career. This was a career versus career steel cage match, man. Dusty had put his career on the line. You know, if he didn't win, man, if he won, he would get the United States heavyweight championship.
And your man was in Dusty's corner. He was ringside.
Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, my man Johnny Weaver was there in Dusty's corner. And I mean, Johnny looked good. Lex Luger was out there, like I say, he was part of the Horsemen. He was out there with J.J. Dillon. Man, Lex Luger looked good, man. I mean, that joker looked good. Yeah. And of course, he was a steroid freak, but man.
Yeah, because you look at him now, he ain't no bigger than this.
And you know what's funny about Lex Luger, man?
Bigger than this.
Yeah, everybody, we always talk about Lex Luger and talk about his wrestling style and talk about, you know, he wasn't a great wrestler or whatever, but he always put in good matches. I guess because he's always matched up against great competitors.
Yeah, because they knew how to make him look good.
Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Sting, and all them. Because they knew how to make him look good. The Steiner brothers.
Lex, let's just be honest. Lex at that time, of his whole career, Lex was a body.
Yeah.
That's all he was.
Yes.
He was a body.
Mm-hmm.
He basically, and did some power moves, torture rack. That was it. That's all he had, man.
Yeah.
And maybe an elbow drop or something, or a knee lift. That's it.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, I'm about to say this. I don't care who gets mad at me when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look dead in the camera when I say this. Lex Luger was NWA's Hulk Hogan.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. But I mean, when I think about it, like I said, I would argue with you, Chris. But yes, that's true. That's 100% true. And that's why, like I say, when he went up there to WWE, and I mean, WWF, what's the name? Vince was going to he wanted him to be the next Hulk Hogan. But Lex Luger didn't have the personality. He did not have the promo style. You know, he couldn't get over with the fans like that. But Lex Luger, if he didn't have Flair, he didn't have Dusty Rhodes, he didn't have Sting, he did not have, JJ, he did not have those great wrestlers in Tully Blanchard, Magnum, I think, wrestled him early in his career. I remember that when Lex came in. He didn't have those great wrestlers to go against him, man. He would have looked horrible.
Yes.
And I remember one of the best tag team matches I ever seen was Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner versus Lex Luger and Sting. Man, great match. But like I say, those guys always made Luger look like he was all world, man.
Yeah, man.
He definitely wasn't. Man. But they took the little talent that he had and made him look like a superstar.
$1 million.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Because look at this whole match, man. Look at this whole match.
Yeah.
This match right here with Dusty Rhodes. Dusty, 300 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Could work for a whole hour.
Yes.
I mean, big, fat, sloppy Dusty Rhodes, God rest his soul. Mm-hmm. One of the best in the business that ever was.
Yes.
Could run you ragged for a whole hour.
Yes.
And look at, man, Lex was, I don't know if he was just covered in baby oil, sweating up that much, because he looked like he just got in the shower. That joker was soaking wet.
Yeah, he was, man. But
and most of the time, if he wasn't getting in the elbow or torture rack or something, he had you in a reverse chin lock or arm bar trying to catch his breath. Yeah,
but man, it was a good match. It was a good match. I gave the match 4 stars. Dusty Rhodes got the win. He was the new United States heavyweight champion, and man, he saved his career. So he didn't have to leave at that time. But man, that was a great match, 4 stars. And like I say, Dusty looked outstanding in that match, man.
And made Lex look like $1,000,000.
Yes, he did. Those elbow smashes, man. I forgot, man, how great those elbow smashes that Dusty used to put on people, and he looked great, man. With those punches and all that. He was something special. Yeah. But 4 stars for that match. So what you give it?
I gave it a 4.
Okay, 4 stars, man. From a straight up wrestling crew, man, Rich, straight up wrestling show. So next, man, we had the main event.
Yes.
Main event,
the world's most boringest wrestler versus the world's most entertaining
wrestler.
wrestler.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, all the charisma in the world. From the dressing room all the way to the end of the match. The man that people want to see, the man that's gonna, you either love him or hate him.
Yeah. To the most boringest man in the world.
Yeah. And Ronnie Garvin.
And he was a champ at the time.
I forgot his name. I forgot they used to call him Hands of Stone. Okay. Forgot they used to call him Hands of Stone.
That right hand.
This guy would he would put you to sleep with that.
Yeah.
You didn't watch it.
The thing about Ronnie Garvin, man, it's crazy to say, but he was a scientific brawler.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it. He wasn't strictly scientific, and he wasn't strictly a brawler. He was a scientific brawler.
Yeah.
Which I know it don't sound right, but that's what Ron Garvin was.
And what was a trip about that, man? And I kind of feel bad for Ron Garvin when it boils down to it, because I did ride in the limousine with Ron Garvin back. I rode in the limousine with Ron Garvin after one of the nights in Greenwood Memorial Auditorium, and we was asking Ron, how old are you, Ron, and all that stuff. Ron said, he said, I'm not gonna lie to you about our age, because I thought he was in his 30s or whatever. Yeah. He said, I'm 42 years old, man. He looked good. Boy, we was all like, me, my friend Tabitha, and my friend James, man. We said, Ron, you look good to be 42, man. He was cool as I don't know what. But he was a mid-carder, man. Yeah. He was a mid-carder. And like I say, and at that time when we was talking to him, I didn't think he was telling us, he said, I plan on winning the world title. At that time, man, I was like, we're near the world championship. And see, back then, man, I'm like saying, I'm right here with wrestling. Is it real or fake, man? I'm more on the real side. I'm just like, we're near winning the world heavyweight championship. But he's like, I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna win the world heavyweight championship. 3 months, man. He was in a feud with Ric Flair. Yep. But I mean, he was a cool guy, man. But like say, he had his limo. He was last wrestler out there. He said, y'all want to go? Let's go and get something to eat. He said, y'all know where the places to eat at in Greenville. I don't know. So
and that's crazy. Much of the time he haven't been to Greenville.
Yeah. So
but that lets you know he really ain't had no personality.
Yeah.
Man. So he wasn't an outgoing person. He basically kept to himself.
Yeah. So we
took his own thing.
It was this place over called Whirlwinds, and see, I used to be a manager at Hardee's at that time, and Tabitha was too. So. And our friend Johnny, he was our backline trainer. So we all decided there was a place on Whitehurst Road across from the Hardee's. It was called Whirlwinds, and Whirlwinds had it was kind of like a Waffle House. It was kind of like a Waffle House, but less greasy, man. But it had great food, less greasy, man. I really, like I say, I'm not against grease. I'm a Southerner, love grease. So like, love grease. But yeah, Whirlwinds was a little less greasier, man. But great place to eat. Everybody used to go there. So we went to Whirlwinds, took him to Whirlwinds, and man, he loved it. So we like, yeah, we definitely can take you somewhere to get to eat, man. And we all went over there, and Ron will talk to us about all kind of stuff, man. Talk to us about his career all the way back to, man, when he was coming up, in his early, like when he was 20, 21 years old. But excuse me. And then yeah, I was shocked, and then I was shocked to see him become and I hated it when he, even though, like I said, I talked to him and hung around with him and stuff like that, I did like Ric Flair. I mean, I was, like I say, huge Ric Flair fan.
He still are.
Yeah. But I hated him getting the title because, he was a mid-carder. He came out of nowhere. And the fans in Chicago was booing Ron Garvin from the get-go all the way through the match. They said, Ron Garvin
sucks.
And, you're just hearing it like crazy. But down here, man, people wasn't doing that. People, a lot of people didn't like him, but That's the most disrespectful that I ever seen him get world champion get.
Yeah.
As far as an NWA champion, man. But they Ron Garvin sucks. Ron Garvin. I was just like, oh my God, Ron Garvin. You could tell, man, he was upset in that match.
Yeah, man, and it was crazy too because I mean it was a good match. Flair did what Flair does.
Yeah.
And he basically tried to make the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
And it was a typical Flair Ron Garvin match. A lot of kicking, a lot of punching.
Yeah.
Ron Garvin, like I said, he was a scientific brawler, so he'll break you down and stuff like that, and then put in his power moves and stuff. But Flair ended up winning.
Oh yeah. Ron Garvin got a knockout punch on him too, but Flair ended up. I think he put his foot on the rope or whatever? No, he pumped.
Garvin knocked himself out because what happened? Flair whipped him into the rope.
But I'm saying the first time though, he did knock him out with that punch, and Flair kicked out of it.
Yeah,
and they couldn't believe it. Put a foot on the ropes. Yeah, but they were like, I can't believe it. But Garvin. Yeah,
and Garvin ended up knocking himself out. Flair whipped him into the ropes, came over on the other side, and picked him up, and was like going to just slam his face into the cage.
Yeah,
and literally he hit that pole, boy, just boom, and laid himself out. And Flair was like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was I remember that when I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, that's how Rick won that title back, man. But that was a great win.
And that was number 5.
Huh?
That was the 5th time he won it.
That was the 5th time he won it, yeah.
That was number 5.
But that was the 5th time he won it, but I was so happy when he won that title back, man. But like I say, this right here is, this little stint that Ron Garvin had the title, man, it done defined his legacy, and it's been bad on his legacy. And it's sad, but people look at him as, the worst world champion, man, NWA world champion, and people hate him for it.
Hey, I can't blame him, man.
People hate him for it. Yeah, so, but he did hold, and at that time, I guess because it was that title was so prestigious, and he had it, and people did not like it, and they let it be known too. But I gave that match 4.5 stars, man. It was a good match, best match of the night, 4.5 stars. What about you?
Yeah, definitely 4.5, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, man, outcome of this, man, I would say Chi-Town Heat, Starrcade 87. I give it 4 stars, man.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4 stars. Go back and check it out. And Chris, right now, man, I think we're gonna go ahead and skip Raw. My man Ron covered that earlier today. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna skip Raw because actually we're supposed to be out of here right now. We're just gonna go through Starrcade 88, man.
Matter of fact, but before we do that,
yes,
Harry, you remember
bring that up, man.
You remember we posted our logo in the group.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And we told you we got some stuff going on, some merchandise and everything going on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me be the first to show you the first official product that we have for the Straight Up Wrestling Show, woman's purse.
Yes.
Yes, it is a purse. It is a bag, and it can be a tote for a man or a woman, depending on what you got going on, or if you got arts and crafts or anything.
No doubt.
This is the first official product. I'm trying to get in the camera here. Yeah, the first official product from the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
Yes.
And it is and so we got more of those to come, and we're gonna have t-shirts. Like I said, we got bags, we're gonna have hoodies, everything, man. So yes, this is the first product that we have on our line of gear.
Yeah, and we thank I gotta thank Chris' wife, Jeanette Burton.
Yes.
She hooked that up, man, and like Chris said, we got a lot of other product coming up. And then she said something about mugs.
We're gonna do cups.
Yeah, we're gonna do stuff like that. So yeah,
we got a lot coming up, guys.
Right.
And
so we will be selling things, and man, probably sell some stuff at shows and all that. So which we go out to because we go to plenty of shows.
Yes.
Definitely be putting out some merchandise, and so hey, look out for that, man.
And speaking of merchandise, man. Speaking of merchandise,
what's that?
I got to do this for my man.
Who was that?
We was at a show last night.
Right.
We was at 3 Count last night.
Yes.
And wonderful show. Awesome show. If you never seen 3 Count, go check them out.
You gotta see it, man.
Next time they'll be in the area, will be in Pickens, South Carolina. I can't quite remember the actual date. Yes, it's a tote bag. It's a tote bag. I can't remember the actual date, but they will be in Pickens. Check them out. 3 Count Pro Wrestling. But we were talking about merchandise.
March 22nd.
March 22nd.
Yes.
So I got to do this for our man, a friend of the show.
March 12th. Somebody say March 12th.
12th.
Thank you.
Right here, Zuka King.
Yes.
Our man Zuka, bam, sucker. Yes, Zuka. I am wearing his shirt, and our buddy Harry, he's wearing the shirt too.
Yeah, Zuka King.
Zuka, we
represent you, Zuka.
Yes,
on the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
Yes.
So if you Perry, your man Perry see this,
yes,
y'all know we represented
yes,
you.
we represent you, and we're looking out.
Yes.
So yeah, that's right. Bam, sucker. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Zuka King, and he had a good show on last night.
Yes, he did.
If we covered that show last night, go back and look at it. It's in the group. It's on our YouTube page. Check it out.
Oh yeah,
man. So
all right, man. We're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to WCW. He had sold it. Jim Crockett Promotions had sold it at this time. Wait a minute. No, he hadn't. He still was the owner because when before it already had transitioned over to WCW. I don't know why in the world I was saying that, but yeah.
You
okay.
Putting a cart in front of the horse.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay. But WCW, man, Starrcade, 1988. True Gritt. True Gritt only got better, baby. Only got better because that was the NWA. That was WCW.
Yeah.
That was Jim Crockett, man. Never be another Jim Crockett. Hopefully it will be. Last night it felt like we was at a Jim Crockett show.
Yeah, it did.
Man, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Unreal.
It was awesome.
Oh man, man. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. First match, man. We had I remember seeing this NWA United States Tag Team title match. Cause me and you, we looked at this about 4 months ago too. And then we never did do it, I don't think. Yeah. Okay, the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers versus the Varsity Club.
Man,
I used to love the Varsity Club. Kevin Sullivan and Dr. Death Steve Williams.
I couldn't stand the Fantastics, man. Midnight Express wannabe.
Hey, there's no doubt about that.
I mean, they were copycats,
no doubt.
Man.
Yes, they did.
Stand them
yes, they did.
Man.
But there was a lot of copycats back then. As far as NWA, I mean, it's what the WCW was doing and NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. It got copied by all the promotions. Copied a lot of stuff they did. They just did because I mean, Dusty Rhodes, man, and Jim Crockett came up with so many great ideas. People just copied it. So and I used to get mad when I remember reading wrestling books, and then I would go and see these promotions. Maybe I see these promotions somewhere on cable, and I saw these teams. And I see these. They would copy it a couple months later. I remember, and Vince McMahon used to do it. They would copy their gimmicks all the time, but never could duplicate it though. But the Fantastics, man, they was like you said, it was Midnight Express wannabes. But this match right here, man, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers, pretty decent wrestlers. But like I say, this was the best.
I just didn't like them because they were Midnight Express wannabes.
They was.
That's the only reason I.
Yeah, they was. They ain't no doubt.
I couldn't get over the fact of it. I was like, who are these punks? Who are these guys?
All right, man. We just gonna rate it then, man.
No, because that was just me, man.
I was too. I did, man. And then I remember they came in wanting to go against the Midnight Express. They wanted the Midnight Express titles. They wanted the Midnight Express shine. That's pretty much what it was. And but they
wasn't really over like that.
No, they wasn't. They copied their styles. And but the Varsity Club, who won this match, man?
You know what? I think it was the Varsity Club.
Yeah, the Varsity Club did win this match.
Club,
Kevin Sullivan, and
was it? Oh no, Dr. Death.
Yeah, Dr. Death, Steve Williams.
Yeah.
That's the only one they didn't put the win on, man. I don't see the win. Yeah, but they didn't put a win here. But I think Kevin Sullivan and Steve Williams got this win. Either way it go, man. I like the Varsity Club. I liked it when Kevin Sullivan wasn't wrestling. It wasn't wrestling though. I like when he got Rick Steiner in there. But like I said, they treated Rick Steiner and tried to make him look stupid. I like when he got Rotundo in there and Dr. Death Steve Williams, man. That was an awesome Varsity Club. But I think they ended up beating Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers. What did you get that match, Chris?
I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3 too. But it was a pretty decent match. Even though, like I said, the Fantastics, man, they kind of made me sick a little bit. But
yeah, because I was like, who are these?
Yeah, but I could deal with them. They came out of the AWA, man.
No wonder.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real. I was not.
They got established over there. Yeah,
I was not.
They got established over there. Okay, tag team match, man. We had the Midnight Express
versus the original Midnight
Yeah,
Express.
and the original, okay, against the original. But before they came out, man, because they come out, it looked like two teams that mirror the team that was there before, in the first match, which copied the original, which copied the Midnight Express. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, man! It seemed like it was a run on that first match.
And it was crazy because you got to think about it. You had both Midnight Express. You had the Midnight Express and the original Midnight Express.
Yeah.
One was managed by Cornette.
Yeah.
The other one was managed by Paul Heyman, a.k.a. Paulie Dangerously.
Yes. But the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, with Jim Cornette, and the original Midnight Express was Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose with Paul E. Dangerously. So, like Chris said, we know him as Paul Heyman now, but he was Paul E. Dangerously, and
he had hair.
He had hair, and he was slim. So, man, this right here, it was a decent match. I don't know which version of the Midnights that you used to like, that you like better. I like the one with Cornette too.
Sweet stand with them darn. What they used to call. It wasn't a super kick, then it was a savant.
Yeah, man. He was just doing so delicately, man. Just like, whap, he would get you in any situation. You could be like you could be 2 feet away from him. Be right up on him, man. 16 inches. Bam. Yeah, so it was pretty cool,
and it was
man.
funny because he would always do his arms like he was getting ready to karate punch you, and then he'd kick you.
Yeah.
Sweet Sam was my man.
But, man, hey, Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose got the win, which was shocking to me. I was really upset about
Dennis Condrey, I don't know why, man. Dennis Condrey always looked like he was drunk.
He did. But,
he always looked like he was drunk.
Very good competitor. Great wrestler, man. Yeah. Kind of remind me of Dutch Mantel, but Dennis Condrey was a tough
and he always had this scruffy looking
yes,
beard, and always looked like he was drunk.
But,
he always looked like he just woke up like, all right, hey, I know you're drunk, but you gotta go wrestle. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, he was a good one, man. He was a good one, but yeah, they got the win with Paul E. Dangerously. Good match, man. Yeah. What Ron said? Ron said
Paul Heyman is one of the greatest minds that ever in the industry.
Yeah.
And the way he got into the industry is truly remarkable. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. I agree with you on 110%.
No doubt. Next, man, we had Ivan Koloff in the Junkyard Dog versus the Russian Assassins. Russian Assassin 1 and Russian Assassin 2 with my man, Paul Jones. Number 1, Paul Jones.
Not number 2.
Number 3. Number 1, Paul Jones, okay? That's all you got to say.
And this right here threw me for a loop. Because I would have never thought Junkyard Dog and Ivan Koloff in a tag team?
Yeah.
What?
Well, Ivan Koloff had that falling out with Paul Jones. Because Paul Jones was managing Ivan Koloff with the Russian Assassins. And they had that falling out, man. And Ivan and Paul, man, both of these guys, older guys, wrestlers, both little short, stocky. Both of them had very good careers. And they, like I say, both of them just stubborn. They couldn't work with each other. And like I say, Ivan was a leader. Paul was a leader. But Ivan was a better leader. And Paul just kept putting them in bad. Paul had more money. Paul kept on putting them in bad situations. Ivan didn't like that. So Ivan ended up, they had a falling out. The Russian Assassins, they jumped Ivan Koloff. So Ivan needed an ally, got the Junkyard Dog, man.
Of all people, though, man, when I seen that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Of all people, Ivan, you got the what?
Them Russian Assassins were big, too, man.
Yeah, they were.
They was big. But they took Junkyard Dog and Ivan Koloff out, man.
I ain't surprised on you.
Yeah, no. And they got the win, man. They got the win. I can't remember how the finish was.
Yeah,
but
I can't remember the finish.
They dominated. It was a pretty good match, man. Junkyard Dog, he was doing his thing, man. And Ivan Koloff, they did everything they could, but they couldn't beat them big Russians, man. Lost the match. So next, man, we had Mike Rotunda. He was the NWA World Television champion. And one thing about this, man, Mike Rotunda against Rick Steiner. Mike Rotunda was a very good NWA World Television champion.
Kevin Sullivan was in the Shark Tank.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He didn't get enough credit. Because Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard's title run was so great that this about the only two that people remember. Ricky Steamboat was a great NWA television champion. Steve Austin was a great NWA World Television champion. People don't remember that.
Bobby Eaton was.
Yes, he was. Bobby Eaton was. People don't remember their title runs that much because Arn Anderson and Tully defined that title.
Yep, they did.
They defined that title. But Mike Rotundo, man, I mean, this was a great match. It was a great match. Rick Steiner with all the power moves and scientific, man, because he could get down there scientific. Mike Rotundo was a big guy. Even though, like I say, he was a slim guy. Wasn't as big as his son.
He was tall.
But he was tall. Great scientific wrestler, man. And, I mean, he's, you know, I have to put him, he's in the top 5 of all time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, great scientific wrestler. But, you know, he ended up getting the win with Kevin Sullivan. But, like, you know, I mean, as far as this match goes, we didn't rate the last match, man. What do you get that last match? Russians against
actually,
Ivan and Junkyard Dog.
Oh, well, that match, I give it about 2.
I say 2.5, but we're going to drop it on down to 2. But, yeah, the Mike Rotundo and Kevin Sullivan versus Rick Steiner match, man, I'd say about 3.5 on that.
Yeah.
That was a good match.
Steiner actually ended up winning.
Yes, he did. No, he did not, man.
You sure?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he did. Yes, he did. It says Mike Rotundo with Kevin Sullivan. And when I go back to the Midnight Express and Stan Lane with Jim Cornette, they won that match. I take that back. They beat the original Midnight Express. I was wrong, yo. I was wrong. Okay. Man, we got to get these things right, Chris. We got to get these things right, man.
But yeah, Steiner ended up beating him, man, and Kevin Sullivan tried to protest it.
Yeah.
And because something happened. Something happened in that match. I'm trying to remember what it was. They were trying to protest it because Teddy Long was the referee. He was the referee for the match. Something went on in the match. Teddy didn't see it. Tommy Young came in and said he saw it. And I don't know if Kevin Sullivan some kind of way weaseled his way out of the cage and got in and interfered in the match. I can't quite remember. But either way, Tommy Young said he saw something happen, and he said, you didn't win the match, and whatever. So they ended up restarting the match.
Yeah.
They ended up restarting the match. Rick Steiner basically caught Mike Rotundo in a power slam.
Yeah.
Both of them, Teddy Long and
Tommy Young.
Yes. Both of them counted to 3.
Mm-hmm.
New champion.
Yeah, new champion. And Rick Steiner was a good NWA television champion, too. But like I say, he was doing that dog-faced gremlin thing. And the only thing slowed that down is, like I say, Scott came in. You know, this is around time Scott came in, and they wanted him to be tag team champions. But Rick Steiner was a great NWA World Television champion. Okay, next match, man, we had the NWA United States heavyweight title match. Barry Windham with J.J. Dillon against Bam Bam Bigelow with Sir Oliver Humperdinck, my man, Sir Oliver.
And what was so funny, I used to work with a dude that used to look like Sir Oliver.
Yeah.
I mean, short little pudgy dude, red head, joker, everything.
Hey, there's a wrestler out here in the business last night. We saw him, but he did not wrestle last night. He helped tear down the ring, but we see him a lot up at HWA. Lance Glenshaw, he looks like Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
But he's a lot slimmer, though.
Yeah, he's a lot slimmer. That's what I'm about to say. He's a smaller Sir Oliver Humperdinck. But if anybody, I know some of these people know him, but don't, you know, well, you can tell him. A straight up wrestling guy said you look like Sir Oliver Humperdinck. But he does, man. He kind of reminds me of Sir Oliver.
Hey,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Barry Windham, Barry Windham, man, this was a great match. Man, we know but what Bam Bam can do, man. Bam Bam with all those power moves.
And he was a high flyer.
Yeah, he was, man. Get off his feet, those drop kicks, man. Like
cartwheels, moonsaults.
Yeah.
You didn't see a big man
move
do
like
nothing
that.
like that. No. You expect something like that out of a Ricky Steamboat or Jay Youngblood or somebody like that.
Yes.
You would not accept Bam Bam Bigelow, probably about 400 plus or 300 plus pounds, somewhere in that range. Yeah, you didn't see nothing like, man. Bam Bam was something special.
Yeah. But, man, that was a pretty good match, man.
I think Barry ended up.
Yeah, Barry won the match. Barry won the match by count out at 16-17. So Barry Windham defeated Bam Bam Bigelow. That was a pretty exciting match, man. I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I definitely gave it 4 stars, man, because it was a one time Virgil just showed up on GCW. Oh my God.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
GCW's pay-per-view was on, and Ron's watching. And he said,
Virgil just showed up. Man, Virgil's showing up in a lot of places lately.
He need the money.
Yeah, he does need the money.
He need the money.
Hey, man, that's the sad thing about it. Yeah, Chris and I was talking earlier, man, about, these indie wrestlers, man. We need to find a way, man. These guys need to get paid every time they go out. Because, like I say, when I think about people getting hurt in the industry over the years and all that, man, But you know, I was talking about Rick Steiner earlier, but you know, Chris and I, we're not gonna go over there, man. But
that's another story.
That's another story, man. But like I say, these indie wrestlers, they need to get paid. The promotions need to be back. Promotions need to be back up and running. Well, these I'm talking about regional promotions. Need to be back up and running. But like I say, you know, whew, man, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard with AEW out there running. You got WWE running, and I know AEW is losing money, so we just gonna have to see where that goes. But man, these guys put their bodies on the line every other night for us, man. So, wow, man, these wrestlers deserve to get paid. Definitely deserve to get paid. What did Ron just say there?
Ron said, "Smart Mark Sterling said Vince come out here, and he came out with a Vince McMahon mask on."
Oh man! Wow. All right, man, let's move on to the next one. NWA World Tag Team title match, man. We had Dusty Rhodes and Sting versus the Road Warriors. Road Warrior Animal Hawk with Paul Eller.
Now, this was, at the time, if y'all remember, the most infamous thing on TV today.
Yeah.
This is the part where Animal and Dusty were having their feud, and it crossed over into Dusty and Sting versus Road Warriors because Animal had spiked Dusty's eye.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it may still be on Peacock. If it's not, go back on YouTube and check it out because I know it's on my personal YouTube page.
Yeah.
Just hit me up and I'll send you the link if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Dusty basically was having a feud with Animal, and it got to the point where Animal was doing a promo because they had wrestled Sting and Lex, the Road Warriors, a couple of days before, and they were talking about the match. And then the promo went into Animal and Dusty's thing. And Dusty and Animal was out here like, look, you're a legend, and I'm a legend too, but, you know, legends can be killed, etc., blah, 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 blah. They left. A couple of matches happened. Then Dusty comes out. And he's saying his thing. He's like, Animal, you think you big and bad, blah, 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 blah. Well, come on out here, and we can handle this right now.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the ring. Well, off camera, the Road Warriors come, and you see Crockett on the mic. Hey, it's the Road Warriors. Animal, you want Dusty? You big and bad. He in the ring. Go get him.
You know, Animal. You know, Animal ain't gonna turn that down. So Animal went on up in the ring.
Yeah, Animal's like, well, shoot, I'm getting my shoulder pads off. Hold this. I'm gonna get some.
Yeah.
Gets in the ring. Him and Dusty going at it.
Yep.
Fighting. Boom, 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 boom. Going at it. Well, Dusty was getting the best of Animal. Hawk was like, we putting a stop to this right now.
Oh yeah.
He comes in, attacks him 2-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
So Hawk's beating him down. While Hawk's beating down Dusty, Animal's unscrewing the spike off the shoulder pad. And next thing you know, he comes over, boop, hits him in the head. Dusty bleeding. Look like somebody just poured ketchup all over his face. He just busted all open, just bleeding. Next thing you know, they holding Dusty down. Animal comes in with that spike. Wham! Right in the eye.
I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget it. I remember watching it live, man. It was nasty.
I ain't never seen nothing like it, man.
I was 20 years old at this time. And I was like, man, this is some unbelievable stuff. I was in college actually watching it, man. We was all like, what in the world's going on? Everybody used to be in the dorm room. We used to pile up in the dorm rooms watching this stuff. We used to be watching it out in the athletic center. But in the middle, man, watching everybody. We were like, what in the world is happening here? And man, but I remember that, man, the Road Warriors, because when they had wrestled Sting and Lex Luger, this is what had started it. At first, the Road Warriors, man, they was being nice. You know, they was being nice, and it was like more of a scientific match. We know the Road Warriors, they're not scientific guys.
No.
But, you know, they was
not at all.
But, you know, they had got upset with the fans cheering for Lex Luger, and Sting was getting bigger and bigger at that time. Mm-hmm. You know, he was getting huge. And they was like, we've been painting our faces for years. And then this guy come out here painting his face and all that, man. So, you know, they turned on Lex and Sting. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it pretty much ran the beat down on them, you know, on Sting and Lex Luger. Yeah. So Dusty didn't like that. So Dusty came out. Dusty had something to say about it. And then Dusty ended up getting in his little thing with the Road Warriors. And that's how Dusty ended up almost losing an eye.
And then, like I said, Sting came out there and helped him, all these wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then it boils over, and then that's how we get to this match right here.
Yeah, and which was a really good match, man. But it was out of hand.
It was,
you know,
it was nonsense.
Yeah,
man.
it was. It was out of hand.
It was a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight, and that's all it was, man.
It reminded me of something like back on Saturday at the White Horse Road skating.
Yeah,
That's
no
what
doubt about it.
reminded me of,
I
man.
mean, hey, it was the Gators against the Renegades. You know, the West Greenville boys against the
Parker versus Greenville.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what it was.
And you know how Parker and Greenville.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. So,
man, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, Parker versus Greenville.
Oh yeah, Parker Greenville High, man. That
you
was.
go there, man. Somebody gonna get fighting. Somebody gonna get stabbed.
Somebody gonna get stabbed.
It was.
A couple people got shot downtown Greenville.
Yeah.
They were arguing over that match. They
and this was a high school game.
Yeah, they used to play their games at the Serene Stadium right down here, man. At the old Furman, where Furman used to play their football games at the Serene Stadium, man. And they played every Thanksgiving. They played the game on Thanksgiving up until like the late '60s, early '70s. The game was on Thanksgiving, but then like I say, and then they changed it from that, man. But this right here was a war. Yeah. It was, it was like the old Clemson and Carolina games, even worse than that. But man, it was local people and local people just arguing because those two schools used to be the only high schools in Greenville County at one time, and they both was huge. Had like 4,000, 5,000 students in each school. They were maybe
about what? Not even a mile apart from each other.
Yeah, maybe a mile. Yeah. But they weren't the only high schools, but they was the white high schools. I mean, there was a few black high schools too, because the blacks was separated from the whites at that time, so back in the '60s, man, and stuff like that. So,
but I was talking about back in the '80s.
Back in the '80s, yeah. Well, it had calmed down a little bit, man. But they still was fighting, Chris. They was still fighting, but not as much, man. Well, Parker wanted to fight. Now Parker was bad. Anytime Parker played Hillcrest, Parker played Malden, Parker played Berea, whoever Parker played, Parker was fighting. You play Carolina played Parker, you was in a fight. Parker played Jail Man, you was fighting. Parker lost, Parker was gonna fight you. They say we might lose on the field, we might lose on the court, we might lose on the diamond, we might lose on the track, but we ain't gonna lose the fight.
And that's what this wrestling match was like, man.
That's right. Hey, oh my God, and where we was at last night at 3 count, that's where Parker High School was at. That's where we was in that old area. We was in Poe Mill, and the Poe Mill is a lot of old poor white people and poor black people, and these people are rough people. And that school has some rough characters in it. And man, and like I said, that's still a rough area.
Yeah.
Last night Danny was like, man, this is still a rough area. I was like, yeah, it's a rough area.
It is.
Great church people, great people that came to there last night. But like I said, that is a rough area. You don't want to get left in that area at night. I'm telling you like that, man. And but Parker High School used to be right there in the middle of it. Greenville High had some rough characters up at that school too. But they got a lot of rich people at Greenville High. That's right in the center of Greenville County. That's downtown. So there's a lot of rich people there, and they looked at that as the rich school. But they did not count for those West Greenville thugs that went there.
Yeah.
And West Greenville thugs, that white and black, that went to that school. That was rough. And then they was right there beside those Poe Mill jokers. Like I said,
West Greenville almost butted up.
They right next to each other. In Poe Mill, like I say, the school's like a mile apart, man, mile and a half, 2 miles, maybe 2 miles at the most.
Yeah.
And those schools clashed, man, and man, it was some wars.
Yeah,
so I mean, if you in Greenville County, man, you can get books on that, and you can find out what that rivalry was about, man. But it was rough.
I was in elementary school, and my friends were like, "Oh, we going to the Greenville Park game."
Yeah. Hey, no, man. Like I say, you want to get out of there because I mean, we're going to the game. You want to get out of there by the third quarter. You want to get out of there before the fight starts.
Man, you want to get out of there before halftime.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, because during halftime, that's when a lot of stuff started. But we gonna talk about that another time. But man, we gonna roll on. Okay, but yeah, this match, man, ended up at 16 minutes and 17 seconds. It was a count out. But man, it was an exciting match, man.
Yeah, it was a fight, man, because Dusty was like, "Look here, you took one eye, you should have took both of them.
Yeah,
because I can still see and I can still fight."
Like Dusty always said, you didn't get the job done. So man, we're gonna go ahead and get that 4. I'll give it that 4.5 stars.
I'll give it 4.5 stars.
It was great, man. So next we had the Nature Boy.
The main
Nature
event.
Boy.
The main event. He was
main
wrestling
Lex Luger.
Yep, Lex. Yeah.
But the title could change hands by disqualification. Rick lost. If Rick would lose this, you know, because Rick always,
he always doing.
He did something to get a disqualification on you. Yeah, but he can lose the title by disqualification.
And at this time, stipulations like this one heard of.
Yeah.
It was always the champion's advantage. Mm-hmm. You never heard at this particular time champion do something dirty, he lose or she lose. You never heard that at this point in time, man. This was really groundbreaking.
Yeah. But hey, Ric Flair, man, back against the wall.
And once again, like I said, made Lex Luger look like $1 million.
Yeah, but yes, he did. But when Rick's back against the wall, his best comes out. Like I said, you see the real skill of Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. When Rick know that he couldn't depend on the Horseman to win this title, that the Horseman couldn't come in. It was in the cage too. It was in the cage, and like I say, JJ couldn't get involved. The best came out of Ric Flair, and you saw Ric Flair put together an outstanding match, and he made Lex Luger look like $1 million. Lex Luger looked like a world destroyer. Yeah,
in this match. Looked like he could have just beat up anybody in the building.
Yeah. So
Rick made him look excellent, man.
Yes, he did. So I can't remember what was the finish that. How did Rick win that thing? He didn't win it in the figure four. He kept putting him in the figure four. But Rick, he rolled him up. Yeah, he rolled him up. Sunset flip, and then he rolled him up. I mean, you know.
Because I know it wasn't no backslide.
No, it wasn't no backslide. But either way it goes, the match was 30 minutes, 59 seconds. Rick got the win. Man, it was a 5-star match. So they definitely was a heavyweight championship. Who the heck is that? That's somebody on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Somebody, from African name. Look like some kind of Arab Russian name, something like that, Russian or something like that. But like we say, we got a lot of fans from Europe.
Yep.
Appreciate you chiming in, tuning in, checking us out, and leaving a comment. Even though we don't understand what in the world's going on right now, but thank you for that. And man, thank y'all for watching us. But with us, it was one more match, man. It was a bunkhouse. It was a bunkhouse battle royal. That was a dark match.
Okay.
And Junkyard Dog won that, and it does have the competitors here in it. But I'm not gonna go down all that, man. Some of them was some of the same guys that was on the card. But he did win that. Junkyard Dog won that, and I think that was a dark match. But another outstanding match, outstanding night, man. And I gave this one 4 stars too, Chris. Starrcade 88. What about you?
Yeah, I give it 4 stars too, man.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be definitely watching more old school pay-per-views on Peacock and coming with your reviews and stuff. And we're still gonna be up on SmackDown
and Raw and all those other things. I mean, because I think a little bit later on, probably tomorrow. I'll run down that Raw, but Chris, I don't think you watched Dynamite. I'll run down Dynamite, and I'll run what's the other one? Rampage. Run that down, but we'll get together and we'll do Raw. We got Raw again Monday night, so but I'm gonna try to get on that early. What time are you working tomorrow?
I'll get off at 7. So.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that early before you get off. So I'll be coming on tomorrow. I think I'll run solo, and then Chris and we might go on live doing Raw tomorrow.
Do a watch party.
Do a watch party. Yep. So look for us to do that when Chris get off. We definitely will go on there and do a watch party and watch some of this Raw together. So come on and check us out, and we appreciate you joining. Yes. Hit like, share, join. Yes. If you're not part of this, send it out to your friends. So and we got people joining every day. We appreciate that. And man, if you're on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so we always can bring you exciting content like this, and bring you these older shows and bring you the newer shows from WWE and AEW, and when we go out here and do these indie shows.
And if you see us out, man, hey, holler at us.
Come on out there, talk to us, man. Oh shit. Yeah. But come on out there and talk to us, man. And we definitely appreciate you coming in tonight, checking us out. And we'll see each and every one of you later.
Peace.